Himanshi.
Hello, ma'am.
Welcome to our podcast, which is called as Edno Podcast, the
Thank you so
anchors of
much.
Ednovate. First of all, congratulations on securing AIR 39. That's an incredible thing which has happened to you, I believe. And I know your life's journey. You wanted to do medicine, then you wanted to do actuary, then your third option was law, and I think somewhere there the fourth option being CA. So I think how that fourth option converted into first option. Can you just throw some light on that?
Thank you so much. So basically what happened after in 10th, I scored highest in biology. And so there I was confused कि biology लेना है या commerce. Basically science लेना है, commerce. And then afterwards I did not take science for the simple reason that I cannot deal with blood or injections or anything. Didn't do much research then. And then I switched to commerce. Commerce mein also there are various fields, CA, actuary, law. CA was my last option, residual option, क्योंकि having a CA family background तो CA नहीं करना है. Then law didn't really interest me, and then I researched into actuary. Actuary B, I don't know why I did not end up doing, and then I'm doing CA right now. So yeah.
No, that's incredible. And CA was not even on your radar, right?
No,
when
no.
you started, even opted for commerce as a field. And today you are here with a rank in CA Inter. I think that's phenomenal. So I think you have made the right choice, I believe now. And as you say that you're a family of people, those who are CAs,
Yeah.
that would have definitely made an impact on you. Himanshi, I think there is someone who always believed that you will get a rank in spite of the fact that you never thought that you will get a rank. You always wanted to clear in first attempt. Because since you have a family of people, those who have pursued CA, and you have seen few of them having multiple attempts, that entire journey of giving multiple attempts is very, very tough on you. It disturbs you emotionally, and it takes a drain on your life as well. So, who is that one person who put subconsciously in your mind that, oh no, you have to got a rank, and how he played an important role in your life?
It's actually a funny story. So I have a sibling, a younger brother, Harsh. He's the one who used to always say that, you know what, you have to aim for the rank. And I used to not take it seriously. I never aimed for rank, absolutely not. So I used to always study कि 400 लाना है, 40 plus 400 done. And then Harsh was someone who was like, no, you have to score rank. And he used to say like, not just rank. He's like, you have to be in top 10 or top 20s. You cannot be later than that also. So it was, Harsh always saying. And no, attempts, I never wanted to actually go through attempts because I have personally seen, there was this one brother of mine who gave attempts, and I just did not want to do that because going through those same books again and again, it is very tiring. So starting se I was this thing कि seriously padna hai. Classes and all fun and all one thing, and then to seriously padna hai. So yeah, starting se I was like serious only कि padna hai and everything.
Padna hai, मतलब that clarity I think you have and you want to say through.
So starting with, it's like you just attend the lectures. I think professors cover it up everything. So basically you just pay attention as to what is happening. And then that's all. Like you cannot study 4 hours every day like starting set. That is going to happen in 3 months only. Just start mein, you just pay attention in the lectures and that's all. Matlab, wo sab kiya. I never missed lectures or anything as such.
Himanshi, when we were just speaking informally, you did mention that I think Dhaval sir kind of pointed out, and there's an incident which you spoke about. Would you like to share that with us as well?
So I think it was around 9th August. I don't know, I don't remember clearly. And 10th August was my CA foundation result. I was an early birth student in Ednovate. And 9th August, Dhaval sir came to Andheri branch wishing everyone all the best. Whatever happens, it's fine. We will face it together, pass or fail. And then he was standing at the door, okay? So the class is like that, the door was here. And he was standing and he was shaking hands with everyone. He's like, all the best, wish you all the luck and everything. And then my turn came. I remember he was shaking hands with me and he's like, all the best. And you have to aim for the rank. So now the one thing that really hit me was he doesn't know my 10th marks, my 12th marks. He doesn't even know that if I'm going to pass or fail tomorrow because foundation results were not yet out. So that was the time when it really hit me that maybe I can aim for the rank. But again, that was external motivation, not really self-motivation. So when that lasted for a few days only. But yes, in a way, subconsciously, he did insert it like in the back of my mind that, you know what, you can aim for rank, like that you have the potential to do it. So yeah, that was one incident. I remember on the last day also, he came, I don't remember, Jan somewhere. And then again we were shaking hands and he was like, you know what to do. I don't need to tell you again and again. and that was just before the study leave again. So yes, Dhaval sir, yes, played a huge part in it.
Oh, that's awesome. Good to know. I think Jory Hire ki pehchan kar leta hai, just like that. So I think he would have found something in you when you were not confident about that you have the potential to get a rank. Himanshi, I do know that you are from IG board, and
Yes.
the curriculum is very different from a CBSE ICSE board, and so you have never studied Hindi and Marathi. Did it ever, affected you in the way you kind of learn things, or it's okay?
So I did study Hindi, Marathi, history, geography for 3-4 years. Geography was majorly about UK climate and everything.
Right. It's more-
We had different subjects, like we had travel and tourism. I gave board exams of travel and tourism. It was about how the tourism industry operates, like travel agency, tour operators, and everything, you know, and the different impacts that it plays on the countries, the tourism impact and everything. So yes, it was slightly different. So yes, no, my history is bad, my geography is bad. I don't know anything about India's history, geography as of now. Hindi, Marathi also, yes. Hindi, somewhat I can speak, but I think it's like Mumbai Hindi, which
Mumbai
is slightly
Hindi.
different than normal Hindi.
Right.
So yeah, I did not study all that.
I'm a big victim of Mumbai. Hindi. I'm a Mumbaite now. I don't belong to this place. I'm born and brought up in Gwalior, and I have a very posh Hindi. Madhya Pradesh, UPite. They have a very profound Hindi, I will say. Aap, ye, wo.
Haan.
But यहाँ पे क्या कर रहा है? I mean,
Tu tadak and all.
Tadak is also there. This entire language change. So whenever I used to go back to my hometown during holidays, everybody's like, what has happened to you? First you change this language and then you come and speak to us. We can't hear this language. It's not like, so I totally understand that it's not very, if you've not even studied, then it's little difficult to understand that. Himanshi, you're one of those who truly believe all work, no play will make Jill a dull girl, right? And not Jack a dull boy. Unfortunately, all our idioms are written as if only man existed and woman has no role to play. Something like practice makes man perfect.
Yeah.
Either women are born perfect or it's written by a male. So what do you have to talk about your journey in sports, drama, and I think you've done a lot of extracurricular activities. You're not one of those who just sit like a geek with books around you. And what role they have played in your developing your personality, overall personality?
See, in school I used to take part in all inter-house only, dance, drama, sports competition. We had sports like throw ball, handball, tug of war, roll ball. Roll ball is a sport no one knows. I have to actually explain to people what roll ball is. Roll ball is not exactly that, but if you want to say it in 2 words, it's like skates pen ke you play handball. So we had all different kind of sports. So we used to play football also. So yes, I took part in all of them. So see, coming on stage taught me one thing, which was to be confident. Actually, accept yourself ki theek hai, you'll do it and everything. Yes, I used to fumble then also, now also I do it. But it taught me to be confident. Sports also teaches you to understand when you're not communicating in words. So basically team sports, you know कि अच्छा ठीक है ये लड़की अभी ऐसा खेलने वाली है. You understand that, telepathy basically. So yeah, sports has taught me discipline also, not giving up. When you're losing the game and there are 10 minutes left, but you still don't give up. So sports has taught me that. And the thing is, I never attended college. 11th, 12th was lockdown. I'm a 2004 person born. So 2020 and 2021, full lockdown. So 11th, 12th gone. And I was in Methi by that time. And then I took HR college because of CA, because non-attendance college. So college I've never attended. So I don't regret it because I've never attended like one day also in college. But yeah, there's just one thing that I've always taken part in everything in school. So that's a good thing. Like I've taken part in everything.
So you have that holistic approach towards life when you feel everything is equally important and it's not about books.
Yeah.
Of course, being a CA now, there will be a lot of things about books because it's a course where you always have to study. The studies never end, right? So you continuously kind of study, do stuff because laws change and then you have to keep yourself updated. So I think that's a great thing. Just wanted to understand, Himanshi, you're a happy-go-lucky kind of a person. Do you have those exam anxiety, pressures during exam, and how do you kind of manage those pressures or anxieties?
So one thing I've learned growing up is that everyone has anxiety. Okay, some people might have major anxiety. I don't think so. I'm one of them. I'm lucky that way. But everyone has some kind of anxiety, something that triggers them. And you can always talk to your friends regarding it. So sometimes, there are just days where you feel it's too much. The CA course is very demanding. CA course is tough, okay, one thing, but not as tough as it is demanding. CA course, like you need I think around those study leave, you need to study the whole day. Then there is 9 hours of classes. So your social life goes like on a drain over there. So at times you feel like you're missing out everything because social media, of course. So
Right.
you feel like you're missing out on everything. You see your friend's story going there, here and everywhere. So yes, then there are times you overthink, then there's anxiety and everything, but you deal with it. Like you talk to people and next day you wake up and then you have to do it. The main thing is the goal there. Like if you have to do it, if you're hell-bent on it, you have to become a CA, then all these side things don't matter for a while. You just have to sacrifice some of it.
राइट आई थिंक यू मेक अ वैलिड पॉइंट कि एक बार हमने अगर सोच लिया कि हमें
हाँ.
कुछ करना है तो हमें फिर उसी को गोल बना के उसी के टुवर्ड्स वो बोलते हैं ना अग्रसर होके काम करना है so that we achieve
हाँ.
that goals. But unfortunately, a lot of times because of these distractions, in which you generation have, fortunately, we didn't have those distractions. With a lot of social media coming into play, Instagram, Facebook, and there's a lot of social life. So there are times when you felt that I should. Why am I doing this? All my friends are having a gala time. I should leave the CA. It's kind of what am I doing with my life? Did you have that kind of a feeling?
So I often say this, I mean no offense, that for us it's tougher to become a CA than your generation. The portion and everything keeping aside, the main thing is distractions. We have OTT platforms, Netflix, Prime Video and everything. We have social media like Instagram. They're like constantly new apps, like BeReal is a new app that is coming. So there are constantly new apps, social media, these new places to go to. So yes, we have all these distractions. These distractions make us, tough. Makes it course tougher. When you're asking whether I ever thought that I have to leave CA and everything, not really. I mean, I always had this one thing in mind कि 10 महीने निकालने हैं, May 18 तक निकालना है एग्जाम, फिर मजे करेंगे. तो no, I was hell-bent on it कि अभी sacrifice करना है. From July 7th, I think the early bird thing started till May 18. So no, I never thought.
So you're very focused, I believe. I think which not a lot of people are, and I always say that that's what distinguish a ranker and a non-ranker, or maybe a successful person and a non-successful person, because they do understand where they have to draw the line. But unfortunately, those people who know that where to draw the line is just 10%. 90% still doesn't know how to draw a line, and that's where I may agree that because of those distractions, the course become a little tougher. Because even though the curriculum remains the same, maybe we may have 5% passing percentage, you have a little better passing percentage, but still, because of all these distractions, it takes a toll on your mental well-being as well. So
see, I believe you can go out. Like suppose, let's say I remember Navratri. Navratri 9 days. This was the first time I played 7 days. During my inter CA, I played 7 days Navratri. One thing that you can do is, you can actually, we're just kids, we can actually adjust our sleep. We can actually last the whole days just sleeping for 2 hours and everything. So what I used to do is, I used to sometimes come around 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and the classes used to be at 7 in the morning. 1 or 2 days I remember. So over there, I used to notice a lot of people miss their classes because they're tired. What I used to do is, I used to come home. If there is homework, I used to do my homework also, and I used to sleep like 3, 4. And I used to get up in the morning, I used to come and attend classes. The reason is, people can watch recording lectures. We are lucky, we have hybrid course. But then the recording lecture mein, there's not that much of concentration. You're always distracted. Phone pe notification aaya or anything. Like personally, I get distracted a lot. I'm not a self-disciplined person who I can, focus on the lectures. And because the lectures are of 4 hours, so it's pretty long. So I used to always attend offline lectures. I think you can have fun as long as you're ready to sacrifice something. Either sacrifice sleep or sacrifice that fun. Something you have to sacrifice, but you cannot sacrifice those lectures or your homework or your study time. That's what I think.
I think you raised very relevant points in terms of some sacrifice you have to do when you want to achieve greatness in life. And nothing just happens like that, right? Just in a snap, nothing happens. So it's a lot of hard work, dedication, which makes you achieve your goal in life. Tell me, Himanshi, I mean, you are part of Ednovate for quite some time. You have known the systems and all. आपको क्या लगता है some unique features which help you in achieving this goal of a rank? What are the unique features which you want to talk about?
Interestingly, I don't know any unique features. Matlab, the thing is, I've only studied from Ednovate. So people ask this. This is a very common question. Rankers are being asked. So all the professors also tell sometimes, I'm not talking about Ednovate professors. I'm talking about in general professors कि ये rankers लोग बताते नहीं हैं. ये लोग ने modules भी सब की होती है. There are a lot of stereotypes when it comes to rankers. I'll tell about मेरा क्या हुआ. I don't know about other rankers. I only studied from Ednovate material. And So my one thing was maybe not. Ednovate might have missed something from module. I don't know. I never checked the module. But one thing was, if I cover the Ednovate material thoroughly, let's say, for example, that is 80% of the module. Let's say, just example, assuming. Then also I know the 80% very clearly. So exam में अगर 80% पूछा, and if I can attempt that, then it's done. Now you can get like 70 to 80 marks. And this is how I scored rank. I mean, my result, if you check, I scored exemption in all 8 subjects. Costing was a major breakthrough for me because I scored 90 in that. But there are people, the rankers itself, who scored 97 in costing. But I think major of my ranking goes to costing because I scored 90 in that. And the other subjects, it was all like exemption plus. And personally, many people ask this question, so I just have to answer this, that I did not study from any module. I only studied from Ednovate material. This is what worked for me. I'm not saying you do that or you don't do that. But yes, I did the same thing. I only studied from Ednovate material.
So I think the material, it's so comprehensive and exhaustive that it includes everything, and ensure
Probably, yeah.
that if you are studying well, if you are dedicated, you are able to say.
If you complete that material itself, which is huge, you need to, like, even if you're talking about practical subjects, what people do, I've heard this. So they'll complete the Ednovate material and then they'll go to module करके कि अरे ये मैंने सब sums एक बार कर लिए. The point is, तुमने एक बार किया है, तुमको आता है, मतलब इसमें से अगर मैं कोई एक sum पूछ लूँ तुमको, तो आता है क्या? नहीं आता है ना. बहुत बार एग्जाम में ये होता है that the same sums are being asked. Probably I don't remember papers in this attempt. But हो सकता है same direct tax paper I remember very well. I don't know if it was model question or Ednovate question, but same 20 mark or 14 mark question. It was on, I don't remember the topic also now, but same question was asked, direct tax paper.
14 marks flat.
Yeah, I don't remember the marks. Maybe 20 also. So the point is that even if that's a 300-page book, and let's say the modules of, like, we had direct tax 2 modules, Ednovate, I'm saying, 1 theory and 1 question, and in the module was 5 modules or something, maybe both tax related, only direct tax. I don't remember the module numbers. What people used to think is कि यार इसमें सब कुछ नहीं होगा, ये करना पड़ेगा, tax तो बहुत tough आता है. I always made sure कि ये अगर अच्छे से कर लिया तो शायद पास हो जाओगी. At least first attempt do that.
Correct.
So I feel that is where people actually make mistakes and everything.
जो भी करो अच्छे से करो.
Yeah, exactly.
Limited जो भी है उसमें से वैसे नहीं सब जगह.
You only have 3 months at the end. So Feb, March and April. So do whatever you were doing, make sure you're doing it properly.
You said that you were an early bird student.
Yeah.
Does that give you an edge? And would you want to talk about the early bird program which Ednovate runs?
Early bird students, I have 2 sides to it. It depends all on your seriousness. I've seen people who used to come to early board, who taken early board batches, who used to come but used to not pay attention. And I've seen people who used to pay attention. So when you're not paying attention, you're basically missing all the concepts, so don't take early board.
Correct.
But again, if you're actually paying attention, if you're sincere कि नहीं आके जो भी 6-7 घंटे ही होता है उस time, you have to pay attention, then yes, take early board. You have that 1 month lead. I used to pay attention. I used to always know that where the numbers are coming from. Whenever we used to do practical, see, theory is fine. But you have to do at the end, khud se only. Practical, I used to always ensure that whatever numbers are being written in the sum, I know where they're coming from. It's fine if you're not in the mood, you don't want to actually, sometimes it's 7:30, 8:30, you're not in the mood, you're not able to understand everything. Just know where the numbers are coming from. Isko into करके ये number आया है. अगर इतना भी if you're doing it, then when it's Feb time and you actually study, it gets very easy. Your efficiency increases like 100%. So take early bird if you're sincere about it. Otherwise, don't. Then that's the thing.
Understood. Ednovate is known for its unique writing practice. यहाँ पे बहुत करवाते हैं, बच्चे परेशान हो जाते हैं कि क्यों लिखवा रहे हैं इतना. But do you think वो writing practice, आपने homework का भी बात किया अभी, that used to नवरात्रे भी थे तो आप homework लिखते थे. So writing practice, homework, chapter wise test, prelim test, flexi test, did all these things help you out? And if yes, in what way? If you take 1 point at a time and explain how it helped you out.
See, weekly test I used to write. So when I was attending my classes, I did not have any plan of mine such, because Sagar sir and Dhaval sir and people used to say, जो हम कर रहे तुम कर लो, इतना कर लिया पास हो जाओगे, तो उन पे full भरोसा. So then I used to not have मेरा खुद का plan. I used to study whatever the chapters are there in the test. So yes, I wrote, I don't remember how many, but probably all flexi, weekly tests, 90% of them. Coming to those study leave tests, if you're talking about those prelim types tests, so what the thing was that after we were given 7 days to complete this subject, paper, not subject, paper, and then on the 7th day, we were supposed to write a test. Now, on the 3.5th day, in those 7 days, you were supposed to write a 50 mark test और उसमें थोड़े ही chapters cover होते हैं. So yes, I used to do that also. The major reason behind it is that sometimes you're just reading or learning things, but you don't know whether you're able to write it or not, especially for theory subjects. Some you can do it. You can actually just do it on your calci and everything. Theory subjects, you don't know. If you've studied law, if you've studied audit, you don't know whether you're able to write it or not. And what happens is when it's 15 minutes before the exam, your hands start shivering. Even if you know it thoroughly, your hands still start shivering. So I used to write theory subjects also, like the study leave test also, I've written everything.
Okay,
So
you have
most of them,
mostly
yes,
you have
yeah.
completed
I don't remember now that much, but yes, most of them I've written it.
You have written it. So I think that helps you out in completing your papers also on
Yeah,
time. and
you
it's a 5 to 10
know.
minutes back
So
to back.
sometimes what happens, this is also what I've seen, people who know everything, who've studied everything, but they can't complete the paper in 3 hours, and that is a nightmare. If you can't complete your paper in 3 hours, what is the point of studying?
Right.
So yes, you need to write the test so that you know that you can complete it in 3 hours, and maybe write at least 1 or 2 tests before that. So what happens, you can actually judge कि ठीक है 20 मिनट देना या 30 मिनट देना है एक क्वेश्चन के लिए. So yes, I suggest write 1 or 2 papers, however the time is, like everyone has different times.
Correct. And Himanshi, how do you kind of used to plan your study in terms of like in a single day, 2 subjects, 3 subjects? How many hours do you study, or you feel like on days you study and on days you don't feel like studying, you don't study? Because this is very important, because all our CA aspirants want to know this from ranker's mouth, what they do differently and how they do it, right?
So I've been asked this question also a lot after the rank. How many hours did you study? Not just from the aspirants, from the elder people also. And I don't have the answer to this. The thing is, during study leave, I used to do this. I used to not do anything. You wake up, you study, you sleep. I'm not saying I should study 24 hours or let's say 20 hours, but the efficiency decreases. So I'm someone who will actually start a topic and I'll walk around for 2 hours. I am someone who, walk around means I'm actually walking in the room, doing nothing, but I'll start a topic and then I realize it's been 2 hours and I wasted that much time. So yes, I used to study the whole day. If you ask that, efficiency wise, if you have to tell me, if I have to tell you in hours, it will be around 8 to 10 hours I used to study. Study leave, those Feb, March, April, most of the students do who don't have college.
Do you used to study one subject at a time, or like couple of subjects starting like theory practical combination? How do you do that?
So we have subjects like EIS, the revised syllabus don't. So EIS is something which I've personally realized that you cannot do it the whole year. It's fully theory and technical words like computers. So I used to do sometimes 2 subjects at a time. The second subject would be theory. So either EIS, most of the time it used to be EIS, but kabhi audit bhi ho gaya, and 1 practical subject. But majorly it was practical subject. The theory agar man hua, or else sometimes you're just tired of doing sums, your brain doesn't work after a point, then I used to do theory subjects. But study hours, I used to do it the whole day of studying. I mean, I don't have college or anything, and you don't go out with your friends, because even if you go out for like 2 hours, the thing is your mind gets distracted for like 10 hours. Because you're thinking about it after that.
Right.
And the new gossips you get, maybe of school or anything related to that time, like there's no social media. Like, I'm not saying I was completely off Instagram, but maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes. I should not view everyone's story also that time. So you're completely off. You don't know what movies are coming or anything as such now. So when you visit your friends, you get distracted. You get to know what the new movies are coming, and then you feel like ठीक है 2 घंटे की ये देख लेते हैं. वो बहुत होता है.
I think you raised out this point that it's not the time you spent with people, but the after effect of spending that time with people or Instagram, which pulls you, and because it's there in your subconscious mind, right? And even when you're studying, it is going on and on, which decreases your productivity. So sometimes it's better to be a little away from people who distract you, little away from things which distract you, at least for some time, right? And it's not for like a year and all, but sometime when you are appearing for your exam. So I think that is something which everyone should be
Sagar
doing.
sir has mentioned in his video, I remember Sagar Pura, the DT professor, that whenever you're taking a 10-minute break, don't watch Instagram, because what happens is, even if you're watching Instagram for just 10-minute break, the post effects are much, and it was explained that in his video very well. So that used to happen. I'm not saying I never did it. I also did it.
Everybody does.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
that we know where to draw a line. We know that we have done this. We may not do it again. I think even that realization is good enough for people to move on, right?
There were times I used Instagram even on my exam days, but there was also a time that I was completely off my phone. I did not have my phone for March and half of the April month. 1.5 months I was without phone. So I used to only operate WhatsApp from computer, like laptop, WhatsApp web. So yes, during exams also I've opened Instagram, but 1.5 months I was without phone. So yeah, that's a mixture actually. It all depends.
Yeah, and I think Himanshi, maybe I have not said, but you spoke about distractions, and maybe that makes life a little difficult for you to clear CA. But I just narrate an anecdote from our time, right? We are 2007 pass out. 2005 is when we cleared. 2004 is when we cleared our inter CA. So apparently, that point in time, smartphones have just started coming into the market. Even Nokia launched one of the on their tech-based smartphones, and Samsung was not that prominent that point in time, but Sony came up with the Ericsson series, which is like music. Sony is known for its music systems, right? So the handsets used to be as good as a music system. So it's actually a phone, but you can listen to music. And of course, for us, the distraction was SMS. For you, it's WhatsApp, Insta, this, that, because it's new to us, right? We're not used to doing this, okay? So we are sending a message and then waiting for the message to come. And the other person may not be sending because there is not relevant balance. And you're thinking, what has happened? Why that person is not sending the message? Oh, and that brings that apprehension, anxiety. If it's to a friend, oh, why that person is not responding? So I guess the distractions are there, maybe different for different generations, but probably. It will always be there. Maybe we have more real social distractions rather than social media distractions, is how I want to put it.
Ours is more texting
and more associated with people. So if something has happened to someone, I'll tell you, when I was studying for my 12th standard, my brother's friend was found drowned in a well, and I couldn't study after that for almost 8 hours. I couldn't sleep because I knew that person, and I was like, what has happened to him? I mean, it was just not going out of my mind. So people may say, you're so foolish, you doesn't even know he's just your brother's friend, and theek hai na, how does it matter? It's your exam, you study. But I think those were the distraction because I think we're more closer to people. For us, it's not social media, but a true social group which we had, whom we cared about. So I think that was the kind of distraction we had. But yeah, you are born in a different generation. Maybe our kids will have a different distraction altogether. So that's there. Himanshi, when I interacted with you informally, you spoke about financial independence. And I am one of the big propagator of financial independence for women. At the age of 18, I think you are the youngest of all the lot, I believe. At the age of 18, what prompted you to think in that manner? Because where people are still struggling to figure out what they have got to do with their life, you are clear. At least there is a clarity of thought that you need to be financially independent, and I'm sure you'll find your way out. What made you feel that?
So CA, the reason I took CA was because CA is a sure course in India. India is still developing, so there are so many courses. Just शायद scope है या नहीं. So CA was a sure course कि अगर ये बन गए तो पक्का financially independent हो जाएंगे. Now in the word financial independence, I feel all girls should be financially independent. I'm still 18, so I'm not going to say much about that topic yet. But yes, my one aim was always to be financially independent after 10th standard. And maybe that is a major reason I took CA. I'm not saying other courses won't make you financially independent. Not at all. But living in India, doctor, engineering, CA is like a sure course. Ke agar ab ye ho gaye, so you'll be financially independent. So yeah, and that's why I took CA and all that. So
and of course, you're a family of people where you have seen CAs and
I've seen the entire journey, like since bachpan.
Yeah, and how quickly they can earn money and all, and there's no gestation period in terms for a doctor.
A doctor, I think 30 years. Achha.
Right, but before you actually start earning good, and then it's a huge thing. So typically speaking, once you also reach 30, they may be earning maybe double or thrice the amount if they're good in what they are doing. Right, so you have to be good, but of course, but then it pinches you, right? 30 years हो गया अभी तक कुछ नहीं हो रहा है, MBBS करना है, ये करना है,
patience to study
and continuously study. It's continuously, but then again the benefits are much better. But I think we are in a fast life wherein people want to get things done at 21. In fact, Ashish is the youngest CA. I will say he became CA at 21. Because he hails from Gujarat and they do not have this concept of nursery, UKG, LKG. So he started it first. So, and then we were like, okay, aren't you a kid getting into a CA? How come you are allowed to appear for 12th standard exam? Because CBSE board, IG board, have age limits. Like if you're not of that particular age, they will not let you in. I mean, that's what CBSE IC board used to have. IB board to its recent thing. So yeah, so that's really an important thing. Himanshi, this is something which I want to talk about. Again, a rapid fire. What I've understood from your life. Quickly, we could do this. Medicine or CA?
CA.
Still CA now?
Yeah.
You never
I don't
regret
regret. I got a rank now. How will I regret it now?
Sports or books?
Sports.
You don't read books, right?
No.
Mummy, papa, sibling or grandparents?
I can't choose.
Choose one.
No. I can't choose.
All of the
Everyone's
above?
gonna watch this.
Okay, all of the above. Oh,
All
you
of
are
the
diplomatically correct then. First person you shared your rank with?
So actually, funny story here. My mom was actually in Monday when the results came out. So it was my dad who got to know, and my dad was also the one. अरे इसको rank आएगा, which I did not like. मतलब इतना, because CA the result is 10%.
Correct.
Like, he used to watch me studying and also he's like, maybe she will get a rank. So he never said this out in front because result आया नहीं था until they actually scored a rank. So my dad was the first one to know. Second was my bua. My mom actually got to know later, after 2 hours, when the whole extended family got to know. My mom came home and she's like, "What's the result?" And I was like, "Rank आया."
तो मंदिर में पूजा कर रहे थे ना, ये आया आपका rank. So one person who has motivated you to pursue CA as a career?
No one. I mean, it was a residual option. The whole family was CA. So a lot of times the kids do the same. Na?
It's a residual option for me as well. So I'll
whole
tell you
family
the
is
story.
The whole family is CA.
No. So my family is not a CA, but I never wanted to be a CA. I wanted to be an IS officer. So
UPSC.
yes, it just happened to be by chance because it's a post-graduation course. I mean, it's not PG, but post-grad. I mean,
I know UPSC.
After you become...
Did you give one exam with UPSC?
No, so that's one regret which I'll always have in my life, and it's my father's dream to be an IS officer. So
My father's.
I clear CA, I clear CS, I clear law, and I still have that regret in my life that I wanted to be an IPS or IS officer. And of course, there are age limits, there are certain things. My father passed away, and I think that is something I always felt that maybe I've not made him proud. Because he always wanted, and he's the only one who's pushing me, and he died very early, like I was like 25 years. 2010, he saw me being a CA, working very independent, and he told me the last words, like which I remember when having interaction. In 2008, he told me that, beta, abhi ho gaya hai padhai, now you appear for IS exam. And I'm like, Papa, let me just earn for some time. It's good to be independent, right? And I said, I wanted to get a lot of things from my parents and all. And then this happened. So I still feel that, and then life happens. You have other things in life, responsibilities, priorities, you get married, you have kids. So it's always take a back seat, right? Your dreams. And of course, being an IS or IPS has an age limit, so you can't go beyond that.
I don't
It
know.
was
I think
30
it's 30
years.
or 32
30 years,
something
then they
like that.
increased to 35.
Actually, it's 35 now.
And then I still remember it may be my father's way of telling me, abhi 35 ho gaya, chalo upar se bhi bol rahe abhi kar lo to. But still then I had a premature kid, so I have to take care of him. So I think life happens, as I say. So now I say maybe I could do IRS and be an IRS officer, because that's very near to what I've done in my life, right? Doing taxation in my early days. So that's the story which I have. So never wanted to be a CA, and this is also my story. One advice or one person whom you admire the most in Ednovate?
In Ednovate? Oh, not just, okay. So there's Dhaval sir. Now Dhaval sir is someone you can go to if you have a problem with, but then there's Sagar sir. Now Sagar sir, when you're his student, he's very strict. You cannot talk to him like normally, but his advice are so on point. Like, I think everyone admires Sagar sir, Sagar Vora, the DT professor, and like his advice is like on point. The 40-mark theory or anything, his advice are on point. So yeah, Sagar Vora and Dhaval sir also. And then there are professors like, so the thing is, audit and direct tax are the toughest subject. What people say, EISSM, yes, it's a different thing, but direct tax and audit. One person who I admired is Sagar sir.
And one teacher whom you like the most?
No, people were good, but Dhaval sir's class was most fun. I'll tell you what happened. The strength of Dhaval sir's class was the most. Everyone used to come and attend Dhaval sir's class. So it was very fun. The costing lecture was very fun.
Okay, so it's a fun learning technique, conceptual clarity.
Costing is practical. It's all common
all
sense. So
common
you
sense.
need something like that.
No, absolutely. And I think I regret not having studied from double seven. Otherwise, I would have scored 90 plus in my exams. So that's true. And one advice which you want to give to all CA aspirants, what they should do, what they...
Okay, so one thing is like, I'm not saying study however you want, but if you're learning from someone, make sure you're understanding. Just don't attend classes for the sake of it. I've seen a lot of people do it. Make sure you're understanding. Otherwise, don't sit. Go home, sleep, have fun with your friends. If you're attending classes, just understand the concept and everything. Don't waste your time. What happens is, what people do is, they come for 8 to 9 hours lecture and then they're like, oh, मैंने आज बहुत कर लिया दिन में, अभी कुछ नहीं. Don't do that also. Never think that you've done a lot, because once you start thinking that, you will never do more. There'll not be the greed that I want to do more. So yeah, these are few things. I'm still young, but yeah, I've noticed that don't do these things. And also, so don't ever think that I deserve, okay, no, so I've done enough, I'm not doing this, my generation kids are not doing. Your generation kids are also not doing CA if you're comparing with them.
Right.
So if you're doing CA, it is demanding, you need to study. Sometimes you don't feel like studying, you still have to study. So just keep doing it. It's like there's this thing, like even if you're bored, what used to happen is those 3 months CA, by the end of 1.5 months, sometimes the loneliness used to start kicking. I'm not saying personally, I'm just saying in general. Whatever it is, get up the next day and study. If you want to give this May attempt, or if you want to give the November attempt, get up the next day and study, unless something major happens in your life, in your personal life, then that's a different thing. But sometimes loneliness will kick in, or boredom, or anxiety, or anything. Just sleep, get up the next day and study. That's the only thing that I can say, because there is no magic as such. You have to work hard. Yes, people say luck plays a factor. Maybe it does, and maybe it does not. But that is not in your hands. Yeah. Hard work is. So yeah, I mean, just keep doing it.
Pays off. I think hard work always pays. And one last question is, who is your idol? I mean, someone whom you look. I mean,
not one person. There are so many people, my age people who are juniors, or even people who are big. I believe there is something.
Wants to learn
something. No, there is something. When you look at people,
positive things in people.
Yeah, no. The thing is, everyone has a life, and everyone's struggling to some extent. And when you look at people's life, you're like, "Arey, itna kuch ho raha hai, to bhi hai." So I'm not saying everyone. There are few people. So you always learn not to give up. That's the main thing. Once you start learning not to give up, you start living like automatically.
Ednovate or other class?
No, other class I don't know. So Ednovate, obviously Ednovate. I don't know other classes.
It's an esteemed pleasure.
I never studied also, na. Sorry. I never studied also, na, other class ke modules or anything. So I don't know other class modules or anything.
Right. So it's Ednovate for you.
Yeah.
Ednovate rocks, right? Thank you, Himanshi.
Thank you so much.
It's such a pleasure to have you on the podcast, and looking forward to meeting you. And congratulations.
Thank you so much.
On your journey of articleship and being a future CA. And I want you to have another podcast with you when you have a ranking final.
I hope so.
All the best.
Thank you so much.